Hello, my name's Ken and I'm with ASM, and today we're going to check out creating a multi-patch in the Hydrasynth Deluxe. A multi-patch consists of both an upper and lower layer layered on top of each other or split to create a wonderful combination of sounds. So to start off creating a multi-patch, the first thing we want to recognize is that we have our lower and our upper layer. Now on the first multi-patch, when you load up the Hydrasynth Deluxe, you'll notice down low we have SEQ Heyerdahl by RA, and up top here we have Emmenthor by RA. So we have two different patches. If we use the balance knob, we can control between those two. Here's the lower layer. Let's go to the upper layer. And then when we blend between, noticing that as I select the upper, the patch panel will be yellow, the lower patch panel will be blue, and that's all user configurable. And then when I press the multi button, I get orange, which means I'm editing both layers at the same time. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to go to a blank patch. Now you can do this quickly, just shift and turn the knob until you see an init patch or an empty patch, or you can double tap the init button. Now once you do that, you're going to notice that both upper and lower layer are just an initialized patch of a saw wave. Now if I turn the knob all the way to the left and I'm getting just the lower layer, you'll see that there's just one saw wave. Now I'm going to turn the knob to the center, and you'll notice we have a little bit of a phase difference here. And this is expected because we have two separate Hydrasynth engines running in tandem. They are not perfectly phase aligned. They allow you to do some really nice, interesting things. What we want to do now is let's build a dual patch using two existing single presets. So to do that, first what we'll do, I'll press lower, and then I'll press browse. And now I'm in the browsing menu for singles. You'll notice that it says M5-126L. This is just the multi that I'm on, and it's showing you the lower layer of it. I'm going to use shift and scroll all the way to A1, and this is going to be the basis of this patch, which is saw oppressive. Now I'll do the same for upper. Pressing upper, I'm already in the browse here. I'm going to shift scroll to a different preset. Let's try Noble Bell. Now, if I press exit, you can see that when I turn the balance knob all the way to the right, we have the Noble Bell preset. And if I turn it all the way to the left, we have our saw oppressive. And in between, we have both. Pressing the multi button is going to allow me to see my macros. An interesting aspect of this is that you'll notice that 3 of the macros have their actual name already here: chorus, delay, reverb. But the rest of them all say both. The reason for this is the lower has different macro names than the upper. So we can actually choose to decide where are we pulling our macro from. When we have macros set to be upper and lower at the same time, you'll see an up arrow and a down arrow. I can press macro assign, and I can adjust this to be upper, lower, or both. Here I would like it to be upper, so I'll press exit now, and you'll see that now it just says crystal, which is coming from the upper preset. Let's say macro 2 I want to be the lower. Let's go ahead and turn that to lower. And macro 5 will be lower as well. macro 6, let's go upper, and macro 4, upper. Now you'll notice that all the macros have their respective names, and you can see which one is controlling which layer. Now on the upper and lower ones here, we're actually controlling, for instance, the reverb of both layers at once. Now the crystal, I'm only controlling that upper layer. Now once we choose to save this preset, we can adjust the balance how we see fit. We can also go into the multi menu by pressing the multi button, and you'll notice that we have dB level for both the upper and lower. This is a separate level control just to kind of help you hone in your patch and make everything sound how you would like it. It doesn't affect the individual singles. You'll also notice that we have the ability to adjust our balance here. We can transpose. We can also dictate whether or not we want the sustain pedal or ribbon or pitch bend or mod wheel to control either upper, lower, or both. In addition to that, we also have full control over whether we want our arpeggiators to be separate or all controlled from one layer. And then we just hit the save button. When we're in the save area, we're going to go ahead and name our preset. Let's just call it new. There we go. And we can set it to a category. For now, we'll just say it's a pad digi. We can set the color. Then we can go down to the lower here, the next page here, and you'll see that we have the names of the individual singles. Now, if you like, you can adjust those names if you have adjusted those presets. And then when you hit save again, it's going to save your multi. Now that we have this saved, you'll notice that if I hit lower, browse, you'll notice that Sol Pressive has shown up in the M5 126L. And if I hit upper, M5 126U is Noble Bell. And these are non-destructive. So if you go into your single area and you travel to M126L Sol Pressive and you try to edit this preset, you will not be able to destroy it. You will not be able to ruin your multi-patch. So that's just a nice little protection for you. That's how easy it is to create a multi-patch in the Hydrasynth Deluxe. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.